Hi, I'm Lunchbox, and I've been thinking. There's been a lot of conversations going on in my personal life, and even in other people's lives when I talk to them, even media, movies, music. A lot of things that people have been talking about, and it all boils down to 3 points that I would like to cover today: dreams, fears, and responsibility. And, a lot of people understand the first two. It's that third one, responsibility. It really gets away from them. And they all tie together. They all tie together beautifully because the universe always has an order. I'd like to have a quick note, though, that this will involve the thought process. And just because I draw a conclusion or have a thought does not mean that it will not change, that I will not disagree with it, sometimes immediately, or that I wholeheartedly believe it. So bear with me. I'll try not to say anything too crazy. Uh, and this is just a thought. And it starts with dreams. What exactly are dreams? Dreams could also be described as maybe desires, wants. It could be a lot of things to a lot of people. To me, it was always more of an aspiration. There's things that I've always wanted to do. I'll probably never do them. Some of them are pretty silly. It's like, oh hey, yeah, my dad's dream for me was to basically be the next Reggie White, defensive lineman or linebacker, I believe it was. I like football. I don't really care for sports that much. I'm a big freaking guy. 6'3", but weigh up probably a hell of a lot more than you think I do. But I'm not really that fat. I'm like a strange type of skinny fat, but I digress. He thought I would have been perfect for it. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to be a nuclear physicist since I was 7 years old. Why? Because I heard that they were the ones that were working with, various aspects of how the universe works. What is the universe? Where did we come from? And all that. I ended up learning later on that there's other professions that would have made more sense to if I want to know the answers to those questions. There's other fields of studies that I could have gone with, and I went with none of them. It's a little bit of philosophy, wisdom, intelligence. I try to have all three. Sometimes I'm just a dumbass, but you know what? Aren't we all? So, dreams. A lot of people dream a lot of things, and it boils down to what they're willing to risk. And that's where fear starts coming in. Oh, I want to be somebody who's in a band, big band. Oh well, hey, that might mean that you have to give up this woman that you think is the woman of your dreams. Maybe you've already had children. Maybe you've already married. There's a lot of factors that could come into play, but it's all a risk that you would have to have in order to achieve something that is outside of the ordinary. And people fear what is outside of the ordinary because it's the chaos, as Jordan Peterson would say, chaos. And life is an equal balance of order and chaos. So, say that you can find a situation in which you find not just reasonable fears and risks, but fears and risks that you can deal with. Some of these risks may be huge to others, like I said, dream woman or freaking dream car, or dream job, whatever. But it's not your dream. It's what everybody else would call a dream job or a dream woman. So you're willing to accept that risk. Fair enough. Then comes responsibility, because in the future, you may feel differently. You may feel, wow, that really was a dream job. And I fucked up. I couldn't have bombed any harder on that if I was made by the government. So then comes responsibility. How do I live with myself with what I've done? Some people, maybe I destroyed lives. Some people, it may be I stole money. It doesn't really matter. Pardon any background noise, man. It's freaking hot. We can't use air conditioning. That's a whole nother topic. But you can see how they all tie into each other. And the worst part is that dreams come naturally. There's nothing we can do about it. We will have dreams. We will have desires. It's part of human nature, the desire to fill the void. You know, where does the void come from? Trying to figure that one out. But there is a void. A lot of people have stories about, oh, there was a piece of us missing, and, that's why we have the void, and we try to fill the void with material possessions and fleeting emotions like love or happiness, which you should never live your life with a goal being happiness. That is incredibly misleading and unachievable. Contentment is achievable. Happiness will tend to visit those more often with contentment. But I digress again. Perspective. It's all a matter of perspective, is what it is. But you cannot have a full and complete life without having dreams. Some people will strive to achieve those dreams, and some people will not. And those who do not, it may be because of the fear or an unwillingness to take responsibility for those fears, because it's really two different things. Damn train. I don't know. I definitely aim for contentment, though. And I feel fairly content. Started this YouTube channel. Got a possible job lined up and a guaranteed job as a backup. But my problem currently is patience. I've always had a problem with patience. I'm trying to improve myself, because isn't that what, the only thing we can really do is recognize issues and then try to improve upon them? It must be working. I got told the other day that I wrote something inspirational on Facebook, and it was that if you can dream it, you can do it, so do it to it. It works if you work it, and you're worth it. Kind of stole a little bit from Jay and Silent Bob. There's a lot of influences in my life. I pick and choose a lot of things, just like everybody else. Don't judge me just because they're a bunch of potheads. I used to be a pothead. Can't freaking tell. Anyway. If you can find a dream that you really care about, whether it's just, oh, I want to freaking sing. Oh, so I'm going to put some music on YouTube. Original music with a band. Covers like I do. Freaking whatever. You got something in there, and it might not involve technology, but it needs to get out. It needs to be worked on. It's not all going to happen all at once. I was fortunate enough to have some extra money. So I got a camera and a microphone. Unfortunately, the struggle is real, but I feel that it may be worth it. And if it's not worth it, well, I chose it anyway, and I will take responsibility for that as best that I can. Does it mean I won't fail? Hell no. But at least I'm trying. And I think you should try too. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Screaming contest.
Shut your fucking face, man. God damn. So, kill me now. Just fucking kill me, man. Kill me.
Have a nap.
I want to die. Here I am, like some fucking kind of mook, just trying to do some fucking thinking and thoughting and talking and bullshitting. And I gotta put up with all this. Anyway. Responsibility. Responsibility itself takes many forms. Some people it's having to care for other people. Sometimes it's having to care for other people's money. Sometimes it's having to care for a company that many people are employed by. In all cases, a lack of responsibility, which is leaning more towards nihilism. I don't agree with nihilism, although I used to be nihilistic, but that's part of the changing, you know. So an absence of responsibility leads to an absence of meaningfulness. If you don't ever have anybody counting on you, you don't ever have to be any place on time, you never have to worry about anything. What's the point? What do you do? How do you live with that? You know, a lot of people that suffer from a meaningless life tend to, you know, kill themselves. Suicide is always an option, despite what people say. It's not a good option, but it's always an option. And, you know, as for the whole, you know, you only hurt the people around you that care about you, that is not true. It is not true. Most people who are suicidal think that that is the only option to help the people around them because they view themselves as such a burden. And that kind of plays into they don't have real responsibility and they feel like a burden. Just had to throw that in there.